Even though we are political colleagues, but I'm still your son. That's how we have related politically, professionally, and personally. And you taught us something when we were in the Senate, that I may not agree with you, but I will defend to death your right to say it. We might have slight disagreements politically, but I will defend your right to state your case. I will defend your right to sell your agenda. Nikech beki ng'iyo, to gik mapogowa bende tin kabisa. Tin kabisa. Penjre uru, nito ang'o mamiyo jaluo gore kaluo? Ang'o ma ilaro mamiyo jaluo gore kaluo? To donge mano gima tin. Gik mapogowa tin kabisa. Nikech wapenjre niya, waduto te wane siasa ka. Babu ni siasa. Babu manyo power ma Nairobi. Omanya ng'owa power. To dong wan bende wamanyo power. Gija duongo buru oginga. We are all in politics in pursuit of power. And it is not power for its own sake. It is power to help our people. It is power to empower our people. It is power to deliver justice to our people. So we have a lot of things in common. We all agree that we must focus on the software of this nation. And James Orengo, you wrote the Constitution and you have taken us through it. That even as we build the roads, we must ensure there is justice. Even as we do the railways, we must ensure there is dignity. Even as we do all the big things that William Ruto is doing, we must think about the soul of this nation. And that must be our reflection as we think of Katiba. Yesterday we were celebrating this Katiba, and we must ask ourselves whether we have really breathed life into this Katiba. The Katiba was not just a hardware Katiba. The Katiba was a software Katiba. And that is where sometimes we have slight differences on whether we should prioritize hardware or we should prioritize software. We have slight differences on whether we should go one term or whether we should go two term. Personally, I am in the two-term movement. But that does not make me fight Orengo. That should not make me fight Babu Owino. That should not make me fight Raphael Tuju. Personally, I am with Dr. Oburu Oginga. But that does not stop my friendship with James Orengo, to whom I am a son. Personally, I am in ODM. In fact, the last time I checked, Babu Owino was still a member of ODM. Amali Hama. The last time I checked, Orengo was still governor of Siaya on an ODM ticket. So there is no reason why we should be beating each other, killing each other, insulting each other, and creating a sense of confusion and commotion in Luo land. Hiyo pepo mbaya ya vita, ya vifo, tunasema shetani ashinde. Kila mtu awe na uhuru wa kutembea popote, na sisi wakazi wa eneo hili tukumbuke kwamba iko siku tutatamani kuongea na wakazi wa Bungoma, tutatamani kuongea na wakazi wa Makueni, tutatamani kuongea na wakazi wa Kiambu. Kwa hivyo tusifanye ile ghasia ambayo itafanya Wajaluo wakae kama watu pumbavu. Tuuze sera zetu, tukaribishe wale ambao wako na nia ama maono tofauti. Na mimi nina imani na naomba kasisi na kanisa mtuombee. Sababu tofauti kati ya sisi watu wa power ya Oburu na watu wa power ya Orengo ni maneno ya hardware na software. And let me speak as a software engineer. That hardware cannot run without software, and software cannot run without hardware. I want to encourage James Orengo and Babu Owino that let us find a convergence, because this country needs both the hardware, this country needs the software for it to run and for it to be prosperous. And I also want to encourage my brother Babu Owino. Sababu kule Nairobi, it is a big city, it is the heart and soul of this nation. Mimi nasema kama sio Sakaja ni nani? Kama sio Sakaja ni? Si nyinyi mko na vijana huko, mandugu, madada huko Nairobi. Babu is a wise man, is a friend of mine, is a personal friend and a brother, and I wish him all the best. I wish him success in his pursuit. Because we need to hand over the program to the Kenya Defense Forces, I have seen a senior leader in this republic, the Honorable Raphael Tuju. Honorable Raphael Tuju, kamoro jo mumbo gikia position migoyo, gi position manigoyo etie jakom Raila Amolo Odinga. Mheshimiwa Tuju, karibu. Pengine utasalimia the mourners. I know you are a friend of Newton. We saw you in church, and I hold you in very high esteem. Even if we might have differences in how we shall get to heaven or Canaan, but that does not compromise my respect for you, the Honorable Tuju. Karibu.
Thank you, my son. Amosu no kweuru. Untie. Jodala wa mtoka na kwa penye. Unsafe ka. Unsafe. Gimadang hijaonge. Amor joka ocha. Igene nyimine na ote dario koni. Nyimine na dik actually. Tupoka winje no kata limp moro. Gidak maber. Kuro kancha winje neko oji homa bay. Kuro mialuoro. Please, I want to give my condolences to my brother Newton and his wife and mother of the deceased, Judith. And I don't know how to express my condolences to my daughter Lucy. It's difficult. And losing a young person like Steve is one of the worst ironies in life, to bury your own children. We always believe our children will bury us. So when you have to bury your child, I think is indeed a very painful experience, and that's why I made the effort to be here today. As a person who has occupied certain public positions, I believe in peace, because I know what would happen if we don't have peace. I was in Rwanda in 1994 as a young journalist, and I saw dead bodies float on River Kagera. As a young journalist, I covered South Sudan, I covered Liberia, I covered Mozambique, and let me tell you, you don't want us to get there. So I'd rather have even the worst government, but have peace until we have an orderly transfer of power. And I remember the morning when I had this discussion with the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. I worked with him. My name is on record. When I was at Bomas with others, who I don't need to mention, Wakina Jimmy joined us there. And I know what happened. And I don't want to go there because it's not useful. What is important is that we have peace. I was there in the morning when I discussed with the late Raila Odinga about doing everything to make sure that we have peace. And that is what broad-based is all about. And I can tell you those who are there in this discussion. First, it was me with Raila. We co-opted Joager. The first meeting was held in my house with Sifuna, with Joe Ager, we brought in Oburu.